Then at the end of February and March, the sun started to peek out from behind the mountains sometimes, and Aiti always goes to the ice of the fjord to punch a hole in the ice to fish, and there was always plenty of fresh fish there. Then in March the sun started to shine longer. For a few hours a day, the seals started to rise on the ice. When Martimo saw them, he would go over to try to shoot a seal that was on the ice. When Aiti noticed that Martimo was going seal hunting, Aiti would give me a stern command that I wasn't to slam doors and openings and not try to go near the seals. The seal was a very timid animal, so that it wasn't frightened off, so that Martimo could shoot it in peace. Aiti explained that we have something to put in our mouths again. If Martimo was able to shoot a seal, as soon as Martimo shot at the seal, Aiti and I raced to the sea ice to help pull this seal up to the shore. Martimo then skinned the seal and cut the meat and fat separately. The meat and everything was divided so that we would all get a portion of the everything. There were enough portions so that we all had food to put into our mouth again. Aiti then separated the fats and put them in a cauldron and cooked them on a low fire for a long time, separated the scraps and cooked them again for several hours. Then she separated the fats out again, put the fat in a different cauldron to separate the rubbish and scraps. She put the fats on to a boil again and cooked it for so many hours to make sure that all the water was gone and just the oil remained to make this into a lamp. She cut a piece of old cotton cloth and twisted it into a cone shape or horn. She took a metal tube and put the twisted cloth or thread inside the tube and placed it into the boiled seal oil fat. She used an old milk can or whatever can she happened to have on hand. She put the seal oil into the can with the tube with the twisted cotton inside. She lit one end on fire, and Ati called it a kilu. I was always interested and very attentive to how the lamp lit up, and yes, the fire always burned for a while. But after a while burning a lot, it quickly started to smoke. So Ati often had to use scissors to cut the cotton wick when it smokes too much. Ati often complained that the lamp was too dark and she couldn't see how to do handicrafts. She is not able to sell anything to the reindeer laps and from the village residents when she can't see anything. And that lamp was really small some days. The daylight was short only in March or in April. We started to have longer days and more light in the spring. Iti goes to Norway to work fishing in the early in spring. She left me alone to be cared for by some Lap family. I was there for the spring and early summer, and after midsummer, Iti came back from Norway. She was there working fishing. She brought back a lamp, an oil lamp. They said a 10-line lamp and oil. Iti was very happy about it. Now it's a good lamp, and it was a bright lamp. Then we went to visit Kirkonkila. The people would say, Maria now has a handsome bright lamp that we can see from here. It was a bright lamp. It was really good. So Adi was able to get some orders for handicrafts from there, made of reindeer skin and boots, mittens, caps and such, and overcoats which were called peskis. Ati exchanged her handicrafts for items such as a loaf of bread, grain, sugar, and other items. They were pretty wealthy people, all of the reindeer owners and that sort of thing. Spring came to life once again, and sunlit bright days. Martimo didn't go to Norway. Early in the spring that year, he made a turf sauna. I remember those times well, and the neighbor had a son, Heikin Poika, called Miko. He was about the same age like me. We were apart in age about half a year. Martimo installed the sauna. He put the grate on the bottom. He put some logs onto the grate, slits lit the fire and let it warm it up. There was a fire for several hours. Then Martimo used a pitchfork to move the hot coals and put some rocks on top of the coals. He filled a large water bucket with water and put the hot stones into the water to get hot water for the sauna. Then many years passed by until Martimo's or Heiki's sons grew up. They went to Norway to work in the markets and fishing in Norway. In the spring, fishing in the fall, they returned and told Martimo about a new water heating system that had been invented. A water pipe would come out of the barrel. In that barrel, the air and water heats up like that. Then you get hot, clean, hot water for a sauna. And Martimo listened carefully and wondered how it works. How can this be? The boys explained, and Martimo started to work on it. He got materials from somewhere. He found an iron pipe 1 or 2 inches in diameter. He put one end of the pipe into the water barrel. And through the sauna oven, the pipe came out on the other side of the furnace. He put in a large wooden plug at the other end of the pipe. Well, Miko and I watched it with excitement, wondering what was going to happen, wondering how this new, modern water heating would work. After a while, it started to bang and hiss in the fire. Then there was a terrible bang, and the boys ran out of the sauna in fear. They called Martimo, "What a terrible bang." And Martimo came there. The barrel was empty. The sauna was full of steam in every place and plenty of water everywhere. And so Martimo tore up the sauna stove so the chimney and pipes were removed from there and put them in a barrel. Well, Martimo was annoyed with these crazy new inventions and set the stones back in the same way as they were and heated the sauna the same as before. The sauna was used all winter as before. That yes, the invention was right after all, but we were wrong. When the next spring came and the boys went to Norway again, and in the fall they came back with the news. The bend both ends of the pipe must be in the barrel. Twisted has to be in the stove, and both ends in the water barrel. Martimo understood and got another pipe, heated it, and bent it in sand to be safe. Then so both ends of the pipe were placed in the water bucket, and the bend was inside the sauna heater. And I would always remember this as soon after we had to leave our home. And there would be many modern heating devices of a completely different kind.
La la